not around, have you found I'm always on your mind? And when you hear my name, does it sound the same as you felt when you heard it last time? Do you see flowers in my hair that aren't really there? Do you feel the pain when I'm blue? And when you see me, does it seem to be that blues changed to life in bloom? 'Cause this is how I see you, and these are the things you do. You may not know, so I'm telling you so, the best way I know how to. Does the room light up more than enough when I flash you my smile? And the things that I say make everything okay, make everything seem worthwhile. Now would you give it all away for just one day of knowing you'll see me soon? Could you spend a while on a deserted isle as long as I was with you? 'Cause this is how I see you, and these are the things you do. You may not know, so I'm telling you so, the best way I know how to. Can you find or remember a time you had a brighter day? Or remember the time our eyes first met, just like it was yesterday? I hope you tingle inside when I walk in the room, and maybe your heart skips a beat. For now we're just friends, but when I see you again, can you promise me no guarantees? 'Cause this is how I see you, and these are the things you do. You may not know, so I'm telling you so, the best way I know how to. I'm not around, have you found I'm always on your mind? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Boiling Point Podcast. Forgot to take the screen down. I am your host, JD, alongside Mariana, and we are here with our live watch-along for the West Shore School District. Anybody who is watching our while we were waiting and getting our shares out and everything, I decided I'm going to start playing some of Marcus's full music, his full songs, before some of our live episodes. So if you were watching, I hope you enjoyed his song. That was his song, I See You. And you can check out his music on ReverbNation.com/Marcus Fredrickson.
He also does the song that we used for the intro as well. Check out our storefront, bonfire.com/store/the Boiling Point podcast. Pick yourself up some apparel and make sure you also share that out. And of course, share out all of our content. Make sure you hit that reaction button and make sure you follow and subscribe on our channels. Mariana?
Yes, how are you?
Good. I'm good. You were going to make the meeting, but since you weren't able to, thanks for joining me for the little bit of a pre-show, and then of course we'll be back after the meeting to do some post-show because there's going to be some stuff in this meeting, right? What are we expecting in this meeting, Mariana?
Okay, well, what we're expecting in this meeting, we had the policy meeting at 4 o'clock, and I touched base with Denise Dugan, and she told me that it was really shocking and concerning to see how so many people were speaking against this library policy. A new suggestion was made by Brenda Cox, and that is not to allow Todd Stokes to be the only one approving these smut books, or the books that are coming into the library. And of course, Abigail Tierney was fighting against it. So that part of it they tabled, I think, until August. We'll also possibly be speaking today because I haven't seen the agenda yet, and I apologize for that. I've had a crazy day, but they're also going to be speaking about the bathroom policies. Okay, they should be speaking about the bathroom policy tonight. We know that's going to be a clown circus because there's a lot of people and a lot of board members like Brian Geiswijk, Cam Big, Abigail Tierney, Adam Trone, and the candidate that's opposing Kelly, Terry Mickle, who is against a bathroom policy. They want to give the right of the boys to be able to go to the bathroom that they want to go to, and vice versa with the girls to the bathroom that they identify, even though Title IX says differently, and even though the President of the United States has said differently.
Yeah, that can really get them into trouble. And it's like they forget sometimes, Mariana, that we're here covering this, that they are getting media coverage, even if it's not the local news and stuff like that. And people are using the Boiling Point podcast to stay informed on what is happening. So it seems weird that they're still trying to sneak these things in when clearly we're going to expose it. And, the parents will show up as they have in some of the recent meetings.
Correct. If you will allow me today, Jonathan, I would like to make the statement that I was going to make at the board meeting on the
Yeah,
show.
sure, please. Yeah,
Okay.
if you would like to
So
go ahead and do that now, because we only got I'm not sure that if they start right at 6:30, we only got about 5 minutes. So if you want to go ahead and do that now, did you give me a visual? Do we have a visual of it?
I send it to you. I'm not sure if I gave you a visual, but I did send it to you.
All right, let me get give
Okay.
me 1 second. Let me see if I can get that email up real quick. Let me see if I can get it quick so that we can have it up on the screen for everybody as well. Sorry, I did not check I'm also running behind today. Oh, you emailed it to me?
I either emailed it to you or I sent it to you by text. You know me, one or the other. I don't remember. No, I think I sent it to you by text, I believe.
Okay, well, that would take me a little bit longer. So we will not have the visual then. So why don't you just go ahead and read your statement then?
Okay, so here goes. In January 2023, my husband and I came to a school board meeting to raise concerns about a novel in the school library that contained graphic and inappropriate content. Instead of investigating, the board president at that time, Mr. Brian Geiswijk, and the current school administrator, Todd Stokes, denied the book existed. The administrator blocked a board member from looking into it and later gave false information to the York Dispatch. Together, they labeled us as extremists and book banners and claimed they had investigated and informed us of the results, none of which was true. At our most recent meeting in June, a parent from the West Shore Parents United, Christy Spangler, presented 7 more books found in our libraries. She read from them, and the content was clearly offensive and not suitable for students. The book my husband and I originally reported was confirmed to be in Catherine Yo's classroom in Cedar Cliff High School by multiple students and families despite repeated denials. This is not just a matter of poor judgment, it's a violation of Pennsylvania law. Under Title 18, Section 5903 of the Pennsylvania Crime Code, it is illegal to knowingly disseminate obscene and or sexually explicit material to minors. These books contain graphic sexual content that meets the definition of explicit sexual materials harmful to minors under the law. Allowing these books to remain in school libraries and classrooms puts the district at legal risks and violate the trust of families. So we ask, what will it take for this board to act? The administrator misled the public, blocked accountability, and allowed inappropriate content to remain accessible to children. Do we need to take legal actions to get results? We have held back, hoping the board would do the right thing, but now it feels like we are being forced in that direction, and we will look for any lawful remedy available to us at this point. We urge you, the board, to resolve this issue, pass common sense policies that protect our students, and hold this administration accountable. Your actions or inactions will determine our next steps. Thank you, and God bless. I think you're muted, Jonathan.
Thank you, Mariana, for pointing that out to me. Yes, I muted myself while you were talking. I didn't want anything to interrupt you. And yes, the last meeting was an important one, and I still need to get some clips. We want to get some clips out of that so people can see. And you can always go to the West Shore School District website, and you can always view the past meetings anytime. And last week's meeting is an important one, and we were unfortunately.
Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
That's the visual that they had while they were reading for everybody. That's why I really am sorry that we missed last week. But it was just one of those things where literally everybody was at the meeting and I was not able to put on the show, and nobody was able to fill in for me because everybody was at the meeting, which is of course where they needed to be. But that's why we weren't able to cover it, because I was not available and everybody was at the meeting. And yes, this is just some of the things that she's holding up. You know what? Let me hear a minute, Mariana. Let me big box you real quick. There you go. So that people can see, this is the visual they had up while they were reading from some of these books. So we are going to get some of those clips and post it onto our pages. So that way you can.
And this is to remind everybody what Todd Stoltz and Brian Geiswhite, who's currently running for re-election, stated. And they stated, we do not have these books at the West Shore School District. They stated it to the York Dispatch. Everywhere they stood, they stated it. And lo and behold, one thing, I'm sorry giving guys my back, but one thing that I do feel, guys, that I was vindicated in that meeting. I was proven right. He had the nerve to say, and here it goes, okay? These are only some of the books. This is the tip of the iceberg of what we found in the West Shore School District card catalog. And we still have Abigail Turney at the 4:30 meeting today fighting to keep this trash in the schools. Okay? So was I right or was I right?
Yes.
And these are the people that we have in the district. We got to hold them accountable, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they have said on more than, it's in the meetings. You can go back and review the meetings, as I've said, but they've said that this stuff is not there. So they have blatantly lied about it. So that's all. I don't think you shouldn't need any more of that. If they're willing to lie to you about what's really in the library, then, or even if they weren't lying and it was a lie of ignorance because they didn't know, either one, is that really who you want representing you on the school board?
It was not a lie of ignorance. You see, Jonathan, that's the whole thing. If it was a lie of ignorance, we can overlook it, but it was not. Okay, because not only was it brought into the attention, they blocked the school board member from investigating. And if you remember, and everybody else knows, okay, the head librarian at the time was Brian Geiswhite's wife, who was also heading the Gay Straight Alliance Club in the high schools. Okay, so she was the president of this club. So I'm sorry, this was not ignorance. Okay, they knew what they were doing. They were hiding it. What they never expected was that they were going to tick off some of the parents, and we were going to go this far. And we're willing to go as far as it takes. okay, as far as it takes. Because the problem outside of the 4 board members that we have that we need to vote out, Abigail, Trini, Brian, Geiswike, Hambick, and Trone, but the main problem, the main issue in the West Shore School District is administration. It's definitely
Yeah.
administration and teachers that is helping administrations to hide this, okay? Teachers who are actually advocating for this, okay? And also those donations that, trust me, we know where they come from, okay? That have never been cataloged.
Yep. And we are going to be back. We're going to step out for the meeting so that everybody can hear it as the meeting gets underway. A few minutes late, I was going to say once Mariana had finished, but here we are. They're going to go live. They'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I believe they do the national anthem. So and then it'll be into the meeting. So stay tuned for us. We're going to talk a lot more after the meeting. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, please enjoy. Make sure you hit that reaction button and the like button and all that stuff, please. Mariana, I'll see you again after the meeting.
Gotcha.
Recognition by the board, employees of the first,
Just recognition of the board.
just recognition of the board. Are there any shout outs this evening? Mrs. Cox.
I do have one, and it is about a Crossroads Middle School teacher. Her name is Glenda Arnold, and I love her. She had my grandson, and she led her algebra keystone test scores. All of her students at Crossroads were 100% proficient.
Wow.
So kudos to Mrs. Arnold, and I know her personally, and she calls the kids all the time, and she has a great interpersonal relationship with her students. So kudos to Mrs. Arnold, and I thank her.
Thank you. Mr. Brinton.
Yes, I have a couple of shout outs this evening. My first one is to the approximately 160 attendees of the New Cumberland High School all-class reunion that was held this Sunday, July 13th, which is also my birthday. Hint, hint. My mom's class was the class of 1959, and that was the last class to attend New Cumberland as a high school. And she recently turned 84. So those in her class were the youngest attendees at this all-class reunion. My second shout out goes to Joe Yacano, who represented the Redland FBLA at their National Leadership Conference held in Anaheim, California from June 29th to July 2nd. My third one is to Ava Holgis, who qualified to participate on the Pennsylvania national team at the 2025 U.S. Marine Corps Junior and 16 and under national championships currently being held in Fargo, North Dakota. And she's wrestling at 120 pounds. Ava is only 14 and finished her freshman season with a 26-7 record. She also recently appeared on the Good Hustle podcast with her teammate Addison Vogelsong. And one last shout out. This is actually kind of an information item. For those who attend CPA-CTC, their students, they should have received a survey, either you or your parents, regarding transportation for days that our school district is not in session, but CTC is. Please make sure you fill it out and get it returned by August 1st. Thank you very much, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Brinton. Mr. Trone.
Very quickly, I'd like to give a shout out to all the teachers and staff that are involved in our summer Cool School program. It's an amazing opportunity to help support students. And I know today in picking up my daughter, never thought I'd hear these words, but she said, "I love summer school." So clearly it was a very windy day when the apple fell from the tree.
That's a program funded with federal dollars.
Anyone else? Mr. Gay.
Ms. Brent, thank you very much. I want to echo Ms. Cox's celebration of Ms. Arnold and her success on 7th and 8th grade Keystones in algebra. Tyler Anderson at Allen Middle School also had a 100% pass rate for all of his students in algebra. So, and a huge proportion of them were advanced scorers. So super proud of both of those teachers and all of our teachers who work so hard to make sure our kids perform. And I think that's especially worthy of noting. That's in math. We have some wins in math. There have been some things said. We have a lot of shining spots in math instruction. While we're preparing for the 25-26 school year, we have summer activities going on in our buildings, as Mr. Trone mentioned, Title I Cool School, which again, content of that this year, math focus. Normally that's been a literacy focus. This year, the team made that all about math. While by no means a full list of district happenings, I've prepared a few examples of how we're still serving students and families while on summer break. Community members are engaging with our free summer meals program at every end of the district, from Cedar Cliff and Hillside to Old Trail and Washington Heights. Special education students are taking part in the ESY Extended School Year program to further their learning. Students are engaged in summer credit acceleration or recovery, making up for lost time or getting ahead on the school year. Title I Cool School, as was mentioned by Mr. Trone, is happening with a math focus this year. Transportation staff members are working hard to start off strong with our new provider, Roar Bus. Our special ed department who use Roar Bus and need transportation for ESY for extended school year. The special ed leadership team said it's been the best start in anyone's memory. They were so happy with the transportation work there. So kudos to them. We were involved with an investigation, and we worked with Roar Bus to get some information. They were incredibly responsive. Again, we're really, really excited about our partnership with them, and every indication is they're doing fabulous work. Technology staff are working to transition thousands of students from Chromebooks to iPads, especially at the high school level. Crews are doing important restoration work on Highlands roof and Cedar Cliffs parking lot to prepare for the new year. So while the overwhelming majority of students and staff are enjoying a restful break, we are privileged to continue to serve our community in myriad meaningful ways. As we prepare to welcome our students back in less than 6 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognition of the public. Public comment provides an opportunity for our community to address the board. Each speaker will be allotted 4 minutes. The board will listen to comments from individuals who have filled out a blue form. To maintain order and respect throughout the evening, I ask everyone present conduct themselves respectfully and to show consideration for those who are speaking. First, we have the opportunity for students to speak on business items. Dr. Argott.
There are no students for business items.
Thank you. And public comments for business items.
We had one submitted electronically.
Okay.
Jeff Harmon expressed a desire to know the total amount of taxpayer dollars that have been spent on the Sunshine lawsuit. These comments were shared with the board in advance of the meeting.
Thank you. Next is minutes. You have the minutes from June 12th and June 19th, 2025 board meetings before you. Is there a motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion? This will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0. Treasurer's report, Mrs. Boone.
Thank you. The treasurer's report for the month of June 2025 is attached for your review and approval.
May I have a?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay. This will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0. Communications. I'm at a loss. Who does communications?
Board members, if there's any committee reports.
Right. Thank you.
Madam President,
Yes, please.
Mr. Trone, Mr. Britton, we've all got the emails from the CDC, and excuse me, it looks like our construction project is going forward. They got permits and they're getting ready to break ground on the expansion up there, which will help add more kids. And it's going to be, it was a very interesting process we went through because the bids came back very higher than expected. And we sent um, the architects back, redesigned this, and we got it down to just below the projected cost. And I know they jumped through a lot of hoops, what they have to do to get permitting. They got that done. So I think it's a little bit, remind me, Mr. Brand, we a little bit behind schedule on this.
Yeah, a little bit. We're a little bit concerned that we're not going to be able to start the school year next year because of the little delays that took place with rebidding it and trying to. But maybe they can speed up the process
Yeah,
with regard to
they will
construction.
be.
But it's just nice that there's
It's
there's
finally getting
shovels in the
started.
dirt.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Mr. Jordan, anything else to add to that? All right. Thank you.
Mrs. Cox?
Mrs. Brand?
Oh, hold on. Mrs. Thomas.
Yep, go ahead.
Mrs.
No,
Thomas,
ahead.
you go ahead.
Sorry, I can't see what's going on there. I'll go whoever's next.
Okay, Mrs. Cox.
We had a board curriculum meeting last month. It was very lengthy. Some of the stuff we've discussed has been discussed at the board meeting. I will try to quickly and efficiently go down over everything. We discussed the curriculum management tool real quick, how we are going to reallocate funds and we're going to push it to the spring of 26, correct? Yes. So we're still working on it with EduPlanet, and that's still in the works. Professional development planning for 25, 26. They do great polling staff and administration to see what is interested, necessary by PDE and other areas. Cedar Cliff, the targeted and improvement, the TSI. We have new leadership taking on the role, correct, Mr. Gay?
Yes, and we just met today with
Okay.
Dr. Argot and others to game plan that.
And they will be building a plan and you'll present it to the board, hopefully in August, you
Next
said?
month, yep.
Okay, thank you. Then we have the social and employment skills program for the secondary ed. That is also, they're hoping to develop that internally rather than look, outside for things that we found haven't worked well in the,
Or expensive.
yeah, and financially also equitable. So then we did the United Way, Ready for School, Ready to Succeed. It's an outstanding preschool skills. And we talked about that, I think, at the board meeting also. We don't pay for that. It's free. The review of the digital resource tools. We already talked about a lot of these. Discontinue the use of CAMI. Replace the spring math with the reflex math. Beginning of the PDE, we're going to do the Firefly benchmarking.
Yep, we're working on that.
Okay. We're going to discontinue Zoom at the end of 24, 25 because we're going to replace it with Microsoft Teams, which is built into our existing Microsoft suite that we have. We also talked about the saving funds from to go into the Go Guardian, right? That's what the parents are going to be.
Yeah, funds from Zoom that we're helping us pay for
To
expenses.
fund that, yeah. Okay. School links that will then replace the Navions.
Yep, that's happening now.
Okay. Then we went to the new resource adoptions for K-5, the science, the HMH, the spiral science that we talked about. 7th through 9th, special ed, direct instruction. That would be the trans math, the VMath.
VMath and trans math.
Yes. The social studies, 7 through 12, their products have been on review.
They were approved last month.
Correct. We approved them. The world language, we also talked about that.
They're continuing to use the same resource from the previous year.
Yes. And the ELD resources.
Approved last month.
Yes.
Oh, no, they're being approved.
Well, they're on,
They're
they were on display back there.
They're voted this at this meeting.
Today, actually, yes. And, as well as the instrumental music resources also will be today.
Yep.
And then they're working on the comprehensive plan for 26 through 29.
Yep.
After that, we just did there'll be an added curriculum meeting on August 13th.
And we discussed technology.
That was the
Technology use with elementary K to 6 students. There was just an open discussion.
that was, yeah, we discussed the use of iPads in the K through 6 curriculum being sent home. And that will be discussed again. I think that was it.
Yeah.
It's one of our longest meetings we've ever
The discussion.
had. It was a great discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mrs. Tierney.
I'm going to report on the West Shore Foundation. And first, we'll talk money out. And we received 31 applications for educator innovation grants. And the allocations committee reviewed them and made a recommendation to the full board. And that has occurred, but I'm not at liberties to say who has received those yet. That's something to entice you to come to opening day for the school district, which this year is August 18th. But that work gives you a glimpse into two things. It gives you a glimpse into what the teachers are dreaming about and would like to try. And it's a really nice partnership with the district because we receive a lot of requests and we find as many ways as we possibly can to grant them, whether that's through the West Shore Foundation, whether that's partnering with federal dollars, adequacy funding, whatever. So it's a great process and it's moving forward. And soon enough, you'll hear about all those programs. So that's money out. The next is money in, which means that's how we give out money for these grants. And we're gearing up for the Foundation Gala. It's in October, and I'm trying to think, I think it's I'll look up the date while we're sitting here. But it's typically the third week of October. And anyone out there remember off the top of your head? I can look it up. I will look it up. But tonight, this one has a really, really fun theme, and we're honoring a Cedar Cliff graduate who's done some very exciting things. And I'm going to leave it at that because we have from now till October, but it's an event people are going to go, man, I'm glad I was there. And
October 18th.
October 18th. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And the either ticket sales or silent auction that we have there all funds the grants that I've referenced, and we do that twice a year. So mark October 18th on your calendar. Stay tuned. We'll be giving you more information. But it's a pretty cool theme with alumni honoring this year.
Thank you. And Mrs. Thomas.
Hi, thank you so much. I don't think I want to talk about the May 15th policy committee. We discussed resource materials policy 109. We had great discussion and we reviewed it again. This evening we had policy committee at 4:30. We're still reviewing policy 109. And the June meeting, we did talk again about resource material 109. And I think I need Dr. Argott's help here, but I believe policy 218, student discipline, went back to administration. Is that correct?
For 218, the committee gave the support of planning on streamlining the policy and working on I'll call it matrix for what discipline would look like as a standalone document outside of policy. We haven't made any changes.
Okay, right. And then 908.1, classroom observation by parents. We did discuss that and we sent that back to administration, correct?
We didn't discuss 908.1 at all tonight. It was on the agenda, but we didn't get there.
Oh, I thought we did on the 19th of June. And then artificial intelligence, 815.1, we'll come back to that in August.
Artificial intelligence and tax appeals, the committee tonight gave the go-ahead to have legal counsel look at them. We'll see how long that process takes, and I haven't yet transmitted them to legal counsel, so they don't know that's coming.
Okay, I think that's it then, right? I covered everything for May, June, and July?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Brown.
You're welcome. And We are moving on to business items. Personnel.
Madam President, I move we approve the following personnel agenda items, item 7A1 through item 7A11.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Okay. This will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0.
We hired a number of new staff, both professional and support, this evening. We do actually have a new hire present this evening, Mr. Jaron Boyle. If you would like to come on up and introduce yourself to us. Welcome to the
Hi, Jaron. Good.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to join West Shore. I'll be joining Hillside as a third grade teacher this year. This will be my 10th year teaching, so I'm very excited to be part of West Shore and back in the Mechanicsburg area, New Cumberland, where I have grown up my whole life.
Nice.
Great. Welcome.
Welcome, Jaron.
Welcome home. Yeah, that's great. You can always stay, but you can also leave. And he's gone.
Yeah. And don't give me an excuse. You're getting ready for class tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Bills for approval. Mrs. Boone.
Thank you. Attached is the check register for the period of June 8th through July 12th, 2025 for your approval.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Madam President,
Mr. Brinton, thank you.
Mrs. Boone, is there anything of note in the bills that we should be aware of this year for this month? Anything that stood out to you at all?
Nothing that I would make note of now, just normal monthly bills.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. This will be considered a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in the affirmative unless otherwise noted. 8-0.
Madam President, I move that we take 7C, 7D, and 7E together.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion on C, D, or E? Okay. This will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0. Thank you. We have 7F. Settlement Agreement, Beaver et al. Versus Board of Directors of West Shore School District et al. Mr. Hall.
Thank you, Madam President. For the public's benefit, on May 6, 2024, a number of plaintiffs filed an action against the West Shore School District Board of Directors alleging violations of the Sunshine Act regarding actions taken at the April 11, 2024 meeting. Pursuant to the settlement agreement, the board will issue a request for proposals for the position of solicitor. By virtue of the settlement agreement, the board expressly does not acknowledge any violation of the Sunshine Act. The solicitor and the administration recommend the board of directors approve the settlement agreement in the form attached.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do we have any discussion?
I have a statement.
Mrs. Thomas, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. The lawsuit filed against our school board is a reckless and politically driven abuse of the legal system. It is the baseless action designed to undermine the outcome of a fair and democratic election that delivered a clear conservative majority. This kind of lawfare is not just an attack on our board, it is an attack on the will of the voters and a shameful waste of taxpayer dollars. Instead of focusing on the real work of serving our students, this manufactured controversy has created toxic division, fractured our ability to govern collaboratively, and distracted from our mission. What's most disturbing are the false accusations and deeply personal attacks that have been levied against me, particularly those targeting my character and my faith. These attacks have come from individuals who claim to value inclusion and open-mindedness, yet have shown anything but. This board was elected to lead, and I remain committed to doing just that. Despite the noise, the slander, and the politically motivated distractions, our community deserves integrity and results, not theatrics and retribution. Thank you to the attorneys that helped lead this case to closure. Thank you to my friends and prayer partners that have continued to pray for me and my fellow board members through this long journey. Thank you. And my vote, I believe, my opinion only, we did nothing wrong. I know I did not violate a sunshine law. And my vote is very hard to come to because I'd like to say no, because I feel like I'm saying that I was part of something that did not happen, but I want to conserve the taxpayers' money this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments? Mrs. Tierney?
I'm voting to support the settlement agreement primarily to end the additional expenses that would be incurred in defense of the action. I believe the lawsuit was entirely preventable and was the result of specific leadership decisions that were made. I actually want to clear the air on one issue because apparently at some point at a school board meeting, I said the sunshine law was violated. And I should have qualified that with, in my opinion, because I am not in a position to adjudicate. I'm not in the position to adjudicate that. That is what a judge was going to do. I did believe that the way that we acted was, in my opinion, problematic. And I'm happy that we're bringing it to an end. And I'm very grateful that we're going to move forward with an RFP.
Anyone else? I have a statement as well. To the residents of our community, members of the press, and all concerned stakeholders, I address you today in response to this malicious lawfare alleging that I have violated the Sunshine Act. The Sunshine Act ensures we advertise meetings and agendas, allow public access to board proceedings, have an open discussion or statements from board members before bringing a matter to a vote, among other things. I am innocent of committing any violation of the Sunshine Act. This lawfare case is a deplorable attempt to weaponize the legal system and cost you, our taxpayers, valuable taxpayer dollars. We are innocent. However, this lawsuit against the 5 conservative members has backfired in that it has provided email evidence of board members working with disruptors and giving them directions on how to participate disruptfully in the school board meeting to silence the new members in their own board meeting. There was even an attempted bribe released, which was a text message that we didn't know about. I will be releasing this information to prove this case has backfired. This groundless lawsuit is a transparent ploy to distract from the pressing challenges facing our schools. Challenges that we're addressing with the best interest of our students, families, and community at heart. The plaintiffs had all of our cell phone records. They had all of our text messages. They had everything. And there was no evidence because we didn't do it. These were bad faith tactics to advance an agenda. Such actions are a disservice to our community and a reckless misuse of judicial resources, burdening our courts and wasting your money. My record speaks for itself. Transparency, accountability, and wholly focused on the welfare of our schools. Those who pursue this meritless lawfare should be prepared for the truth to prevail. Our school board members remain resolute in our mission. We are undeterred by those who seek to sow division for their own gain. I call our community to recognize this lawsuit for what it is. It was just a desperate attempt to hinder our progress. We will continue to serve with integrity, and I am confident that this legal process will swiftly expose this case as a sham that it was. Thank you for your continued support and trust in our shared commitment to our schools. Dr. Argot.
I'll poll the board. Mr. Trone,
Yes.
Mrs. Cox,
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas,
Ugh.
was that a yes?
It was a grunt, but yes.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
I
you.
guess. Yep. Thank you.
Mr. Camvick,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Tierney,
Yes.
Mr. Britton,
No.
Mrs. Brent,
No.
6-2, it passes.
Thank you.
No. Madam President, I move that we take 7G and 7H together.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, I have a question.
Great, go ahead.
Will we be able to see where the staff attendance at professional meetings? Are we able to see where the staff is going and potentially what the main objective or goal that is being achieved by the professional meeting? And what was the cost again?
It's all listed there.
So is it good?
Yes, Mr. Day.
Every time we have the professional leaves item, it's a monthly item. Costs are detailed. Those are registration costs and travel costs. So the total registration costs for the professional leave requests for this month is $400 even, and the total travel costs are $63.20. The form that is attached to each monthly is attached includes a title of the activity and a location, the names of the participants, their role in attendance. Usually it's an observer, but it could be as a presenter, the dates of leave and when they'll return, and then the cost. I can provide other information upon request. I have a form that each employee fills out with a little bit more detail for each leave request.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'd be interested in seeing that then. Thank you.
And Mr. Gay,
Today,
if
I
I
really appreciate that.
may add in, with my not
Thank you,
being
Mrs.
here
Thomas.
this week, I missed that of that $463, 417 of that is federally funded grant professional development.
Thank you. Mrs. Thomas, did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Thank you for the clarification.
You bet. Okay. Anything further? This will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0.
Yeah, I suggest, Madam President, that we take 7I through 7M. I'm sorry, through 7R.
There you go.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion?
Mr. Gay, the news story, not news story, I'm sorry. I'll jump around the other side here. The West Shore Connect we have at Central Penn, I think, is a terrific program. I would definitely encourage any board members to visit there if you have not done so when they're up and running. Can you explain a little bit more about what that program is?
Absolutely. And you'll see two items, 7K and 7L, speak to West Shore Connect. If I can, I'll explain the two. 7K is our agreement with Carlisle Area School District. On a ledger sheet, this would be counted as revenue. We wouldn't really call it revenue so much practically as cost sharing. So we operate the West Shore Connect program, and some of our cohort area school districts that we work together with on special education concerns participate in that program. Their students pay a tuition for their participation. That tuition offsets the cost of staffing the West Shore Connect program. So we have a student from Carlisle who'll be doing it. On a ledger sheet, it shows as revenue, but in practicality, it's really just a cost sharing. The West Shore Connect program is held at Central Penn College. We have a great agreement with them. It doesn't have cost. Central Penn doesn't charge us. And our students are able to go to Central Penn. They participate in classes and activities with same age peers in those classrooms and the activities. We staff it with a teacher / transition coordinator and a paraprofessional. Fantastic program for our kids who are transitioning out of high school into a post-secondary setting in a safe manner, in a supported manner, so they're even more prepared for what comes next. I've been at this meeting when at a board meeting when Mr. Geiswhite said, this is one of the best things we do as a district. It really is heartwarming, and we're providing, historically, these students didn't get this kind of chance. So it's a great opportunity for our kids.
And remind me correct me if I'm wrong, if some of the kids go to Penn State Harrisburg then for certification
Yep, we were
programs?
just talking about that. There are opportunities at several colleges and universities that host students with special needs. This program can help support the kids to be successful in those environments.
All right, thank you very much for the information.
Mr. Brinton.
Yeah, I have two questions on items N, O, and P. Mrs. Boone, do we have a like a cost of what those three entities would be for us?
And Mr. Brent and I have some information too. And
I tried to look, and I know there's a per diem rate, but
there is. But you probably want to know: did we budget? How much did we spend last year?
Yeah.
I can get that information. I'm neglectful. I meant to send it to everybody and I forgot. So I have it somewhere. I'll get it here.
Gotcha.
Before the meeting's over.
Then my other question is under item Q, the River Rock Academy. We currently have 7 students, I guess, attend there, but we're paying for 10 slots. If we don't fill those 10 slots, do we pay the full $288,000 or? So that's
we have a subscription model there. So
that's a set amount then, no matter if we go to 10 or not.
Historically, we will absolutely fill those seats and have a waiting list.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions, Madam President.
Any other items for that? Okay. This will be considered a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Passes 8-0.
Madam President,
I know.
back on. Madam President, I suggest I move that we include 7S, 7T, 7U, and 7V together.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any questions, discussions? I have, if we could talk a little bit about MD Logic. 7B. So last year, I'm sure we all remember making sure the parents were sent notification for this. It's a mental health screening. And so we also were trying to ensure that there was no data shared, with no data mining of any kind from our students, that if they participated in this screening, that information wouldn't leak out, which I don't know how you would really know that.
Part of our agreement requires them to have safety and security protocols.
Okay. And I think it's very important that the parents are aware that we are currently creating, I think Mr. Vogelsong is creating an opt-out button. Mr. Gay, would you like to just give people
sure.
some information on that?
Yep. This board has requested our exploration of the opportunity in our student information system, which is PowerSchool, to provide families an opportunity at registration and at other points throughout the student's career to click a button to opt out of specific things. Right now, I think the original request was the opt-out would be surveys and questionnaires for students. So we have begun, we're kind of overhauling our user interface with PowerSchool, which includes managing our customizations, resetting them, getting rid of customizations we don't use. One of those customizations is a checkbox to opt out of questionnaires and surveys. We still have some work to do because we have to fine tune it to say, okay, what all falls under that? What we don't want to inadvertently have a checkbox that people are getting out of something that they don't intend to. So we're still fine tuning that. Our hope is to have it ready for the start of this school year. We're working hard with PowerSchool. And I need to thank Mr. Vogelsong, this has been in his head and trying to figure it out. And you just need the opportunity to go through the PowerSchool work. So that's happening. But we send multiple communications prior to doing the behavioral health screenings. We had great practice last year and great feedback on that. These opportunities help us help kids in need who are struggling silently. The process seemed to work very well last year, support of our counselor, social worker, and I was able to witness it. I was really proud of what happened, the great work that was done with this. And it helped us get help to kids who we didn't know needed help until we did this.
Would it be possible, if any board member wanted to take this screening, that they would have an opportunity to participate in the screening just to see the types of questions and
if I'm
see
not
the
mistaken,
process?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Butt gave every board member access to the questions last year. I think he would intend to do the same thing.
We did have access to the questions, but I think
You want to answer the questions?
I would be interested in seeing it like live.
Okay. I assume we can do that.
Great.
I'll find
Thank
out from
you.
Dr. Butt.
Okay. Anyone else?
I just want to say that I really appreciate the efforts that you guys are doing to be more transparent for the families and make it easier for them to just be able to do these things so they're not thinking about it later on in the year as a busy mom and a parent. And I really appreciate that you guys are working with us and doing this.
Thank you. I think it's worth shouting out the commitment that this board and our school district has to ensuring this health, welfare, and safety of the kids we serve. So as along with making sure parents are well informed and have every opportunity to exclude their child from that work. And we exclude some kids ourselves because we know they're already receiving services. But along with that, I think there needs to be a recognition of this board to support efforts to support children's mental health, which is so vitally important right now. So I think both need to be recognized and shouted out. And, the board has allowed this to happen on both sides. So thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments or questions? Okay. This will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0. Thank you. We have one teased out here. 7W, Small Games of Chance, approved organizations. Mr. Gay.
Give me 1 second, bouncing back to that.
Mrs. Cox, this is just for you.
Yep. Let me read the item and then I'll
Saw
answer
my
a
email.
question. Yep, I
Good,
did
saw
see
the
it.
email.
Small games of chance. There we go. Nonprofit sport boosters, parent-teacher organizations, and similar entities which support extracurricular activities in schools of the district are eligible to obtain permission and a license to operate a small game of chance on school property. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors approves all West Shore School District athletic booster organizations, the West Shore Foundation, PTOs, as eligible to operate small games of chance within the West Shore School District for the 25-26 school year in compliance with all other district and local governmental requirements. Ms. Cox had sent a question about what are small games of chance. Pennsylvania, I use ChatGPT to find out how we define it. But I think in a board capsule to you, I said that the most common way you'll see those on school districts are 50-50s and raffles. Those are the most common. We do not grant a license for these entities to have small games of chance. We give them the authority, the authorization to go to their county office to provide that. They just have to have an okay from us.
My question, it would have been referred to more like raffles, what they are raffling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think a small game of chance is a bunch of kind of raffles. If you're asking about gun raffles, I wasn't here for that. I don't actually know the rules off the top of my head. I didn't work here then. So Ryan might know that. Dr. Argott might know that better.
It might be a small game of chance, but we don't do weapons on school grounds.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's.
Thank you. I haven't had to work through that. 50-50s though.
Throwing that out
That's
there.
money. $50. Bingos could be it. Yeah.
Baskets.
Yeah,
that are raffled
basket.
off that everybody loves to do, but they're technically.
Other ones like pull tabs, you don't really see so much. That's not really something that happens at schools. Those count as small games of chance too, but it's mostly raffles, 50-50s, basket raffles, bingos, those sorts of things.
Thank you.
Anyone
That's
else?
skill, sir.
Okay.
I didn't catch a motion on that one.
I didn't either. I'm looking at this thinking, oops, I missed that.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
You got Mrs. Thomas on the second.
Yeah, Mrs. Thomas on the second. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
We've had our discussion. Any more? Okay, this will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0.
All right, one more time, Madam President. I suggest we take 7X, 7Y, and 7Z together, the resource adoptions for music, English language development, and math resources.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or discussion? Mr. Brinton?
This is for Dr. Argott. What happens if we go to a 27th item on the agenda? What letter do we go to then?
A.
Thank you, sir.
We literally had A through Z tonight. Okay. No further discussion or questions? This will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as voting in favor unless otherwise noted. Motion passes 8-0. We have 8 information items. Revised Board Policy 804, School Day.
Thank you, Mrs. President. Last month, we shared as an information item that the district was looking at making some revised student schedules, primarily for busing purposes. While we didn't take it through board committee, tonight we're bringing forward the same numbers that we had last month, but in policy language with the intent that we're bringing it back next month and hoping you're going to adopt it. I know all of the primary principals are busy changing schedules and things like that. So that's that item. If I may share one more, then
Please.
Not a policy.
Yeah.
Since we streamlined the agenda, I didn't have any opportunity to highlight the free and reduced lunch process again. We are going away from CEP. The intent, unless regulations change, every student will have the opportunity for free breakfast, regardless of financial status. But families that want free lunch will either need to be directly certified, and we'll send them a letter that they are directly certified, or they will need to submit and have approved an application Those applications are already on the district website. They will be sent home in paper on the first day of school, if not before. And before Monday, I will have some additional language on the website that talks about the transition from CEP back to regular. Mr. Long and I have already been in contact so that he can include some of that language. Maybe it's different wording, but the concept in his back to school things. We don't want to surprise anybody. There is some carryover time, but I really want everyone that fills out those applications to get them in the first 2 weeks of school, because we don't want anyone to drop off that's not supposed to drop off. Thank you.
Understood.
Yes, Mrs. Cox.
I know that you had posters made for the summer free lunch, free meals. Is there any way we could get posters made that would tell people where to go? So, and we could put them around like we did with the other posters?
I will admit that's an idea that I hadn't thought of, but I know Mr. Long is right there behind me, and he's usually the guy that does posters for me. So I'll say, Mr. Long, can you get something together for us here in the near future?
Sorry.
No, thank you.
He's very dramatically making a note on a pad of paper to
I'm
say,
watching
I am
him.
thinking of that. I got it.
He's taking notes. Thank you. I just thought that.
No, it's a great suggestion. It's easy to
Yeah, like
get up.
visual, yeah, get ahead of it. They get ahead of it.
Yes.
Mr. Brenton?
For Dr. Argot, the certification process for parents, is that a fairly easy form and so forth to fill out?
It's a one piece of paper. There's instructions that go with it, but it's a one piece of paper. They have to tell us who the adults are that are living in their house, who the kids are that are living in their house, and they do have to tell us their income. But it's designed to be reasonably easy.
Good. One other thing then, with regard to revised board policy 804, the change in school day times, have you received any feedback on there, negative or positive, with regard to the changes?
I have not.
Okay.
This is the first public showing of.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
This will go on the website for public review. Now, the food service director had to squirm a little bit when we started talking about changing lunch times, but we'll get through it.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Britton, we're working with principals to minimize impact to parents, especially at that primary level. So we're hammering out some details with that, and our hopes are that we can work together to minimize any effect on parents, because there's a 5-minute change there on the primary level.
And again, yeah, go ahead.
This is separate from Dr. Argot's stuff. Are you good?
I'm good, thank you.
I just wanted to give Mr. Britton had asked for some information. I was able to get it. First of all, this is provided by Ms. Peters. She actually provided it to me on Monday. I forgot to send it to you. I will include it in a board note so you'll have it all. You specifically asked about News Story. News Story, we served 13 students. We have planning to have 13 students next year. News Story, we have multiple News Story campuses. Yeah. Last year we spent 1.288 million. I'm sorry, 1.288 million, approximately $1,288,809 in 24-25. In 25-26, we have budgeted for the Carlisle and Harrisburg campuses 8 slots for autism support. We budgeted $773 and $488. For the New Cumberland site, we have budgeted for 11 slots for emotional support for $906,245, with a total of $1,679,733. That's what we budgeted. We hope we come under.
Thank you.
Yep. And I'll send a document that has all the contracts that were like this, had costs like that. You'll have it included in board notes.
And what they specialize in, the Carlisle and Harrisburg, are different than what they do in New Cumberland.
Carlisle and Harrisburg, we use for autism support, and New Cumberland is for emotional support.
Thank you.
Any other conversation here? Okay, this will be conducted as a roll call vote. All members will be recorded as
What are we voting on?
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. This was information. I'm just jumping right in and taking a vote. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, what's that? You know what? We will.
There are no in-person public comments. There was one submitted electronically for a non-agenda item. Danielle Gross expressed concerns about Board Policy 109, and these comments were shared in advance with the board.
Yes, they were. All right, there being no further business, I declare this meeting adjourned.
Okay. Um, they're done, right? The meeting was over? I'm sorry, you're eating. The meeting is over, right? They just adjourned.
Yep, it's over.
Okay. All right. So if you want to join us, anybody who's watching, I put the links in everything. So you can feel free to join us in the studio anytime while we're doing our after show here.
Denise, jump in.
Yes, Denise, if you would like to join us, feel free. I put the link in on YouTube as well. You might have to copy and paste it. I don't know that I don't know if it actually posted as a link or not. And yes, that is how quickly some of these meetings close down there, especially if there's no comments or no electronic communications. It goes that quick. It's not the first time that they've just been, right out. Obviously, I can take this banner down. You have stayed tuned, and we're in the after show now. So a couple of things that I want to talk about, and then we're going to let Mariana go crazy on everybody because she's been waiting. She's been waiting just as long as I have. Have your sandwich, Denise, and then please feel free to join us. Use the link. Text me if you have a problem with anything, and we can get you in here. So, all right, a couple of things here. Mariana, that vote, is that what did they vote on, that they accepted whatever the lawsuit was, or they settled? Is that what happened with that?
Okay, so they settled. Okay, and they should have never settled, because by settling, they're giving these people, the Beaver and Abigail Turney and their minions, what they wanted. Now, the reason they settled, though, because I did look into it, the reason they settled is because the insurance, right, only covered them up to $100,000. So this exceeded the $100,000. However, the reason I say they should have not settled is because, where is it? Hold on one second. It's because I have a folder, somewhere. I have a folder, and I'm going to send it to you, Jonathan. I have a folder this thick, that thick, okay? Like 4 of them, that thick, of emails that show that this was politically motivated, and the mastermind of this was Abigail Turney. Okay, so even the people who were involved in this, let's say the council, saw that this was politically and religiously, motivated. The comments that they made about our Christian community is disgusting. We are the GCC people. The comments that they made about Kelly Brent and the school board is disgusting. So this was a collaborated effort headed by Abigail Turney, and then she has her minions, Beaver, Scott Elliott. No, not Scott Elliott. I'm sorry, that's not his name. I call him Stephen King, the one that looks like Stephen King. Then we have Harmon. We have Danielle Gross in the mix. We have a lot of the teachers, administrative teachers in the mix in these emails, plotting against the school board. So they were, in essence, they were proven innocent. The only reason they settled was because they went over the 100,000, and that meant that if they continued and took this to court, it was going to cost we the taxpayer more money. That's why they settled.
I figured that. Yeah, I figured that that's likely what it was, to save the taxpayers money, which is a noble reason to do it. But at some point, you have to stand up to this, or it's just going to keep on happening and happening. So at some point,
it is noble, Jonathan. I mean to cut you. It is noble. However, they raised our taxes. They
Yeah.
raised their taxes. So they should have used that tax money, okay,
Yeah.
and gone all the way with this, because the issue is this, that now they're setting a precedent
Yeah.
that if somebody doesn't like what we the people want, okay, if somebody doesn't like what the school board is trying to do, okay, which is to bring common sense into this, I mean, it's lunacy in there, to bring
Yeah.
common sense back into the district, all they have to do is start lawfare. So now they set a precedence, okay, and we can't allow that. So maybe it's time, like I've been saying for a while, for the conservative parents to say, okay, well, two can play that game. You want to sue, let's sue, and let's start by getting Todd Stokes out of that seat, because even he had his hands in this. Okay, even he had his hands in this. So yeah, I'm angry in 7 ways to Sunday about it. I understand, okay, because at the end of the day, we're not the one, we're not the one facing the fire. We're not the ones being attacked, okay? We're not the ones having the cancel culture try to cancel our businesses. They are. I get all that. But
Yeah.
at what point do we, the conservatives, at what point do we stand up for truth and integrity and come what may?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I agree with. At some point you do have to stand up and fight back. You can't just cower in the corner. You have to stand up and fight back, or it's just going to keep happening. And I understand the people who are facing that. And that's why I always offer anybody on the school board, conservative or liberal, you're more than welcome to come on to discuss your position and, to gain more of our support. And, because they are being attacked personally and, at their jobs and their businesses and stuff. So, and that's not right either, but, it does happen when you're a public figure, it's going to happen. So you do have to be prepared for that. Let me see, where else was I at here? All right, so they accepted the settlement to save money, which again, is not right, but that's whatever. It is what it is. It's passed it now. The good thing about it, Mariana, is now that it is passed, now all of the information that we have, we can release finally.
Oh, we are.
Oh yeah, well, you're absolutely going to. So yes, but that's about the only plus side that came out of this, is that now all the information that we have, because we have a lot of information that we can't release because it was an active case. So now that it's resolved, that's over, and it's a matter of public record, and we already have it. We don't have to do no file or anything. We already have the information. So be ready for that episode coming up. Probably in the next week or so at the latest, I would imagine.
You know what got me really sick? Okay. Adam Trone should not have been allowed to vote. Adam Trone needed to be sat down, silenced, or even better, pulled out, because he broke the law. He broke the law when he tried to bribe David DeBrinton.
There we go. Thank you. I knew we wanted to go somewhere next, and that's where we're going. To the evidence of the attempted bribery. So, and I do want to say, hold on, before we get into this part, I do want to say I appreciate the school board members who, made the statements at the end. Even though they accepted it, I get the noble reason that they accepted it, and I do appreciate their statements. It doesn't negate the fact that we think it's time for you to stand up and fight back, but I do understand it, and I do appreciate all your comments, because when they say the media, we're who they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So here it is from the cell phone fairy. Of course, our inside source. It's here in black and white. You can always go back and look at the episode. Mariana did an episode. I did an episode. We did a recap episode. Go watch one of the several episodes. We're not going to go over everything again here. So, go watch. We have covered it plenty of times. Go watch one of our episodes. But here it is. It's in black and white. The bribery. That's it. And then if that wasn't enough, the next day, Adam Trone decided to release a statement on his social media account admitting to it. Okay, so if the evidence isn't enough, then you also have his statement saying that he did it.
His admission of guilt.
Yeah, his admission. I don't know what else anybody needs than that. So it's good to see that maybe people are still standing up for that, and something might get done with that yet. So we're going to certainly keep hammering it home.
Kudos to Kelly Brandt, because in her statement she said the truth about him. That's
what I'm saying.
Bribery.
I know.
to Kelly Brent.
Yeah,
Okay. But
absolutely.
something needs to be done by that man, because I'm not going to get into all those details already. But this man is a gaslighter. This man is a liar. Okay. Obviously, he's committed a crime here, okay, by offering a bribe. He committed another crime by trying to gaslight my family and put my family in danger. And this is the man that you people went out and voted for? This is the man that you people went out and voted for? Really? You guys
Yep.
need to wake up and understand how your vote or your action or inaction is affecting not only our community, but our schools and our kids. You people had the nerve to vote for that man? Really? I mean, come on, guys. You really got to take a good look at yourself, a good look at the way you think and at your values or your lack of them, and get it in check. Because while we keep having bozos like this in the school board, our school board is going to keep going and sinking more and more than what it is. Okay. We
Yep.
have a freaking communist sitting in that seat. Okay. Thinking he can do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants, and you people voted him in. So you are responsible. Your vote is responsible for having that maniac in that seat.
Absolutely, and that's why we hammer the elections. You know, you got to get out and vote, and you got to know who you're voting for. I mean, if you look, because of the cross filing allowed here in Cumberland County and in the West Shore School District, you don't know if they could be listed as Republican, but they're not. They just cross filed. So, and that happened in this election. If the primaries were the election, all of the conservative school board members who were running lost. And you guys now have a 6-2 liberal school board. And where are you going to go with that? That is not going to help anybody. So that's what I'm saying.
Look at the candidates, Jonathan. Look at the candidates. Terry Mickles, okay, who stands for socialism, who stands for everything that's wrong, okay, who stands for gaslighting, who stands for grooming. This is the candidate you people want?
There
Really,
it is. I
Terry
was looking
Mickles?
for it.
This is the
Yeah,
people.
right there it
I mean,
is.
she couldn't even defend her stance on primary day when a parent was grilling her in front of me. I was shocked. All she did was dance around the questions. She could not say, I believe that men should use the men's bathroom. No, she kept going around it. And this is the piece of work that you people want? This is the piece of work that you people are voting for? Are you kidding me? We can definitely do better than that woman. And let's not even talk about Mary Dankowski, who used to be a principal. And what is being said, why she's no longer a principal? Because the Independence Law Center helped pass a policy. She got all crazy and she left her position and came here because the West Shore, unfortunately, is known to pick up the trash that other districts don't want. And this is the other person that you guys left unchallenged. Okay. Then we have Cambeck, who's totally ineffective. We call him Beaker from the Muppets already because every time he talks, he hears beep, 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 beep. It has no value. He likes to kiss up to the person who he think is going to be in power. When Kelly became the president, he was kissing up to Kelly. Okay. Now that he thinks that Kelly might have a chance of losing, he's kissing up to Terry Mickle. I mean, I don't know, but I see a lot of brown around his lips.
And you need the conservative school board members need to be aware of this also, because you have people potentially coming to you. It happened in the primary saying that they're conservative, they're here to help you, and then they end up doing something to sabotage you or to damage your reputation with people. You got to be aware of who you're inviting into your team and in your circle when you're running for office. Especially, I get it, when you're small time, it's hard to get everything, to get that, but you still have to be aware of who you're letting in your circle. Or you end up, not being able to even win the primary, like what happened with Sandra. We're still going to have Sandra on here in the next week or two, yet before August, to talk about the whole primary thing because of what happened to her. And that's what I'm saying. You got to be so aware of it, and there's so many people who aren't aware of it.
And who did that to her? I'm sorry, the Republican GOP. Okay,
yeah,
they rather back up this groomer, Brian Geiswhite, this groomer, that under his leadership, these books that came into our school district came in under his leadership. Okay, and under the leadership and the eyes of his wife, who is now they rewarded her. Now she's an assistant principal. Okay, but they rather have the groomer than the person that's going to fight for the kids. What is wrong with you people? Listen, don't call yourself a Republican. Don't call yourself, a conservative when you're throwing our candidates, the good people, under the bus because all you care is about money and name recognition and what you get out of it. If you're not a true Republican, listen, resign, get out of those seats, and that's for people who really care because you ain't it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not really sure. Where else do you want to anything else you wanted to address about in the meeting? You seem to be doing good. I might just need to sit back and stay out of your way here. So
No, I mean it's really disgusting what has happened, okay? And then the library policy. Okay, at the
yeah.
and I hope Denise jumps in. At the
Yeah,
policy
hope she
meeting.
hurries up.
Yeah, at the policy meeting, people were fighting, okay, in order to keep the smut in the school. And also when I believe I was told that it was Heidi or Brenda Cox, maybe it was Brenda Cox, suggested that maybe we should have somebody alongside of the taco eating dragon tostotes, okay, and checking out the books that are coming into the school. People are fighting against that also, and Abigail Turney fighting against that also. No, he needs to be watched. Did he not say, and I can bring the articles from the York Dispatch, I have them. Did he not say, we don't have these material in the West Shore School District? Did he not say that over and over again? And it was there right under his nose. And he too, and Matthew Gay, and Brian Geiswhite, and Kelly Geiswhite, they all broke the law. They all broke the law because they are corrupting our minors. They are corrupting our kids. What is it going to take, folks? What is it going to take for you guys to get up and take action against these people? I'm talking not only to the board, but to the parents. What is it going to take? We have a voice and we have rights, and we have the rights to protect our kids. We have constitutional rights to protect our kids. It's time for us to be moving in our authority.
Absolutely. It is time. It's that's why we've been saying this, Mariana, since we started this, that, it's time to get involved. You can't just keep sitting around and waiting. And, now is the absolute time. This election coming up and everything that's happening this summer and in the early year is going to be a lot. It's going to determine a lot for the West Shore School District. And if anybody's curious, the budget numbers that they continually pass without actually discussing or looking at them are not right. So I don't care. They're not providing the right numbers to the public. So some parents need to start be asking about that, because do you know what happens, Mariana, when a school board goes broke?
Yeah, the state takes over.
The state takes over. And if you think that that's going to make things better, I can assure you that it's not.
It's not.
So
it's not. But we're heading in that direction, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, just with the issues. Yeah, with the issues that are going on, the projects that need to be done, but where's the money coming from? And you got, the West Shore is really in a dangerous place right now. And even the bathroom, the bathroom thing still is an issue for you guys yet. It's really crazy to think that the West Shore school district can just drag its feet like this. Like there's no way to be able to try and hold them more accountable. They can just drag their feet and slow things down because there's not a way to get it done.
And the thing is, that bathroom issue, Jonathan, that has been done straight under the noses of the parents. Straight under the noses of the parents, okay? Because they had already those gender neutral bathrooms or transgender bathrooms, whatever you want to call them, that Sandra took pictures of, okay? Already in place, and none of the parents knew it. And then they had the nerve on primary day to say that Sandra was lying.
Yeah.
No, she took the pictures. She took the pictures, and they were there. And none of the parents knew that not only was that in place, but they were using our taxpayer money to buy the signs and make all these changes without the approval of the parents. So what happened to the Sunshine Act when it came to that? Isn't that something, is our taxpayer money that they needed to speak to the parents about? What happened to the Sunshine Act? Oh, another violation. Oh, but because it's Todd Stoltz. It's the administration. You can't say anything. I don't care who it is. We're going to put you out there. We're gonna put you out there. Okay, you're playing with our kids and our tax money, and you're raising taxes for this foolishness. I don't know about anybody else, but my money is not going to be used to buy smut.
And even if you don't have kids, you still need to you need to get involved, because your tax money is still being spent to do this. So even if you don't have kids, you can still get involved at the school board level because you pay taxes. That's part of your right. If you're paying taxes, then you can get involved in the school board meeting. If you live within the school, if you live within the school district and you're paying taxes, you can go to these meetings and make your voice heard. So,
And
you
if
know,
you're
even if
staying
you don't have
silent
kids,
about it, then you're part of the problem.
yeah, it's
Because
not,
then you're co-signing, you're allowing them. Okay, if you're
it's a
staying silent
community
and you're
issue.
because I'm a Christian and because my kid goes to private school or I homeschool or I cyber school, it's still your tax money. Okay,
Yeah.
and if you're staying silent, you are allowing them, you're enabling them. Okay,
Yep.
and another thing we need to start doing in this district is shutting up these advocates, because here we have Danielle Gross, okay, that she has connection to the media and we all know that, and she has worked for media, she's worked for ABC and some other companies out there, coming to these school board meetings, okay, to advocate for the wrong thing, to advocate for the teachers union, to advocate for, you know, the grooming. She works hand in hand with Abigail Cherney, okay, in order to call these parents out, to call the mob, because all those big numbers that you see, the clown circle in these meetings earlier in the year, okay, when they first came in, those were people from other districts that they called to join them. That's why they couldn't speak, to make it look like it was more in numbers and start trouble. And that's what Danielle Gross does. She sends an email to all these people, okay, and Abigail Cherney does also, because I have the proof.
Yeah.
And so does Julie Estep. And so does Janelle Tolbridge. Okay, these are people in our community and people that work in administration also, okay, working against our school board candidates. Candidates and our school board members. Okay, and these are people in our administration that shouldn't be holding those positions. And it's time for the parents to also start talking up and talking and putting Danielle Gross in her place and putting Danielle Gross out there, because she has done more harm in our community than she's done good. She's not a concerned parent. She is an advocate. Okay, and she is an advocate for everything that is wrong.
Yes, and that's why everybody does need to get more involved, because the other side do have these advocates and they draw in people from wherever and make things like make it look like they're bigger than they actually are. They make themselves, that's what they do. They make them so they yell the loudest, they scream about how their hair's on fire so that you will look at them, but they're the smallest group. They're not a large group. We are the majority, they're the minority. So it's time for people to start standing up and acting like that a little bit more, in my opinion. Denise, if you're watching, I don't mean to rush you, but if you could hurry up and finish your sandwich, if you would like to join us, because we're not going to be going for that too much longer. So if you want to join us, anybody else who's watching, if you want to join us, I put the links on all of our channel outlets. So if you would like to join us, just click the link. All you need is a microphone. You don't necessarily need the camera. You know, hop in and join Mariana and I as we finish up here. It was a very short meeting today, which I'm very grateful for. I'm glad it wasn't a 3 and 4 hour meeting tonight.
Yeah, I guess it's because all the pink hair freaks were yelling maybe in the school board meeting, yes,
Denise! Oh, there's Denise. Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you. I didn't even see her. There's Denise. Denise, welcome to the Boiling Point podcast.
Howdy, y'all.
The Puerto Rican's quiet. Now, Denise, you got this.
Yeah, what would you like to talk about, Denise? Because there was definitely some stuff there. You know, so what would you like to talk about?
Well, you know, I'm still trying to process some of it. And it was moving kind of fast, and I would need to review it. But I did hear some good things. So let's just start there. Let's start on a good note, because it will help me refresh me. And I heard Mrs. Cox. I heard Mandy, and I heard Heidi really advocating for more involvement with like a board committee, because a lot of the discretion is left to the superintendent. You know, like the district is responsible for the materials and buying them, but legally, and then he gets to pick them, but they're responsible legally. So I'm glad they're slowing down and looking at every word, because in the law, every word does matter. And yes, it can be tedious, but it can really save a lot of headaches and trouble as well. So that was amazing to hear. I listened to the policy meeting, but had my granddaughter for a little while. So I couldn't make it to the regular meeting, and I see, I really was not expecting it to end that abruptly and that
Yeah.
like when we're sitting there for a grueling 3.5, what, 4 hours, right? And
Sometimes.
even more at times. I mean, there's been some marathons,
Yeah.
but over dumb stuff like horrendous time, and it's like wears you down. And I think that's where people may have lost some steam. I mean, expedient is one thing, but okay, that's it. Like not, there was just like, wow. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I
not the
don't,
first time. Kelly's good at gaveling that meeting closed. It's not the first time that she's, especially a couple of months ago during the stuff when there was a bunch of people in and watching it. She
yeah,
gabbled it. That was the first time I ever seen her gavel it close so fast. And I knew because it was right after the public comments. I think it was Casey actually that was speaking. And as soon, like, it was so fast, like she had the gavel in her hand. And as soon as he finished speaking, she's like, I gaveled this meeting adjourned. And like, it was done. Like she did it so fast. And I think she did it that time to prevent all the people. Cause as soon as he was done, Mariana and Casey told me that like everybody erupted in the back. So I think she gabbled it closed so fast because
Yeah.
she knew what was going to happen. But
record,
she,
sure.
she's gotten very quick at that. Very, very quick at that.
Oh, and the communication director, is on it too. So we want to give proper props to him for abruptly ending the feed. And it is really, they're still going to be. I mean, they're trying to put some safeguards in place, the ladies, and I do see that and recognize that. However, we'll see if the administrator, if he will do what's right, because just having him there and a designee, which we can, that could be anybody, and
yeah,
it could be our guy, it could be Dr. Butts, it could be Mr. Guy, right? Like that just leaves that so open ended. Why not? Like they said, they wanted to be clear, and then this was in the policy meeting, that there should be like a board committee of some sort where it's not just a superintendent, and they kept hammering that point home, and that is actually proper, and having more input. Of course, the minority was against that, and they want to keep it all with the administrators at their discretion to do whatever they feel is best because they're the experts. Well,
yeah, right.
how's that been going? Our schools are failing, so I don't know that they're experts at anything besides, things that they shouldn't be doing. We'll say it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get you to weigh in on one more thing, Denise, and then we'll open it back up and then head towards the exit here. Because you know about the Constitution and stuff now. Now, I did say we are going to, Mariana and I, the only good thing that may have come out of the them resolving the lawsuit, okay? The only good thing about that finally being resolved is that Mariana and I can now release all of this information that we have, that we've been keeping and waiting for it to be resolved. But now, so if people want to know the truth about the lawsuit and what is actually going on behind it, stay tuned to us because we'll be releasing that information and doing multiple episodes to talk about that. But shifting to another thing quick, the bribery issue, Denise. We clearly have the evidence, right? Between this and his
I saw
admission of guilt.
I have my own screenshot of his post. So
Yeah. How like that's there shouldn't, like, I understand that the wheels of justice, they sometimes move slowly. Okay. Like I'm not going to say that anything isn't being done. We did that episode, we hammered it home, and then we've received some word that maybe things are happening to probably keep us from, continuing to hammer people. and we will ease up for a moment. So let's just assume that things are being done that we're just not privy to right now, Denise. Can you speculate at all on what that might be? Let's say someone has who did someone, whoever it was, report to? Who would you report something like this to?
Well, because the proof is evident, right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be proof. It's already there. What would truly need to happen is the school board member that this was presented to would need to swear under the penalty of perjury that he or she was sent this text. And I know it's public record, but I'm just going to keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're not going to get into the specifics. We're just talking about what could it be right now.
To keep it on the lawful tip of things, they would need to swear and put it in an affidavit, and they could submit that as exhibits for evidence. Okay, and it needs to be sworn with a jurat, a proper notary as a witness, and in a court of record. So that's an affidavit that is.
And then if I may, would it
Anyone
then?
else that has witnessed it either firsthand or has that knowledge that they could swear to, right? That it needs to be two people, because you go back and listen to the policy meeting. I'm gonna give the people a tip here. He said that there was a claim. Now, Mariana, we hung up when I was getting ready to make this point. Mr. Gay said there was a claim of, I believe, well, they were talking about the books. I don't know what the claim was exactly, but he said claim. So he said one claim. So one person was claiming, a harm or wanted it removed, or it was, infringing on their religious beliefs. I'm not sure what exactly that part of it was.
Yeah.
But the point is, where two or more need to swear, and then that is enough to hold a conviction for heavy sanctions and heavy prison time.
So let's just assume
Witness the same act and they're willing to swear under the penalty of perjury, which carries a 7-year, up to 7 years, penalty. If you
So then it would be like, what would it be? The district attorney for the county that would be bringing the charges then eventually, right? Because it would be a district attorney that would represent the people.
Yeah, if they would submit affidavits to the attorney general and the legislature, because the legislature is actually directly supposed to oversee the local government and the school boards.
Okay.
Sister or brother, and they're not doing that. So, it needs to be, distributed around and to the sheriff. And what's that, Mariana?
It says we the people want the smut removed. We also want Adam Trone removed. And to the people who are watching, if you live in the West Shore School District, Denise just told you how you can get more involved if you want the wheels to maybe move a little faster. Start writing to your state representatives. Tell them that you've seen a report. Tell them that I'm sorry, Denise. Go ahead.
Affidavits, because we're all witnessing these books. We're witnessing harms happen to our children or our grandchildren, our posterity, period. And we put those claims in an affidavit and swear that they're true. If they get enough of them, well, guys, that's all it would need to be.
So then people can start writing now to the representatives. They can start writing now and say that they've seen
if they're experiencing harm, so we can address it properly with the law.
Yeah. So if you see, so you can even reference the Boiling Point podcast and say, hey, I've seen this report. There's attempted bribery within the school board, and you can ask for your state representatives to start getting involved. That is how you do it. Contact your representatives and have them get involved with this. That's if the wheels aren't moving fast enough for you, then it's you, the people, have to make the wheels move a little quicker. Denise, go ahead.
Yeah. And, could grab some papers real quick because I put them in as I was watering the garden. I didn't want them to get wet, but I have the sections of the legislative manual where I was telling Mariana this the other day. You know, our representatives can open investigations. They can open subcommittees and do investigations. That way, they can bring in witnesses to testify. Now, there's more details surrounding it, but I'm just trying to sum it up for you guys so you understand that originally the legislature, our assembly, but our that was our general court back in the day. Everything was done in the open, transparent. Grievances were settled. But because they've created all this side stuff, we've got they've hidden it and they're not using it. That they can drop warrants, they can submit for indictment presentment, and the Senate has plenary subpoena power, meaning like they have the power to drop subpoenas, so they could be prosecuting people that are doing wrong and knowingly with full intent and knowledge and malice. Now, because when that long train of abuses is established, you're knowingly doing it with intent.
And you just brought up a great point that I don't. Go ahead.
That's key because you've acquiesced, so you ignored, didn't listen to the people that were
Yeah.
We have to submit affidavits too when there's actual harms, when we witness something that was
And you
harm, damage.
you brought up something that I want to touch on quick, because you said something about how the state representatives, because we're talking about the state house now. There's the federal government, and then there is the state government. And if you weren't if you weren't aware of it, the house has its own, or our state has its own legislature, its own representatives that meet in this legislature, and they work with the governor to decide things and what's best for our state. And what a lot of people don't know is that both the state's legislatures and Congress itself have the power to conduct investigations, to subpoena people, to issue warrants. They actually do have this power. And that little side point here that leads me to a project that I've been working on for a long time about basically is the justice, the Department of Justice, and all of the things that actually fall under the Department of Justice. Are they constitutional? And I have lots of evidence that says basically the Department of Justice is unconstitutional. And I can demonstrate how Congress, or how the founders of the country intended on framing the what the federal government was. Like, I can actually do that. That episode's coming, probably not till the fall or winter time, because it's a huge project but I'm almost ready to start actually put that together, but that's for another time. But yes, I'm glad we brought that up, and I wanted to bring that up because I don't think people are actually aware of what the state house and what Congress's capabilities actually are.
Until I dove into their legislative procedure manual, I did not know this either. So they can do investigations, they can form committees, they can bring in witnesses, they can have witnesses testify, testimonials. So there's a lot they can do to help the people, and they're not utilizing what we delegated them to do. They're doing what they wish to do. So it's out of alignment, out of that frame. So
yeah, absolutely.
Now, I do
all right.
want to say something before we
Yeah,
leave,
please.
Jonathan, and that is, and I share this with Denise, that by them allowing this these books into the school, they have violated key legal protections in Pennsylvania. Okay. And Denise, I'm ready to sign whatever you need me to sign. I'm ready to witness whatever. Okay. Because the truth is the truth. Anyway, let's get back to the key legal protections in Pennsylvania. Child sexual abuse material is the acronyms is CSAM if you want to look it up. It is a felony offense to possess, distribute, or produce any material that depicts minors in sexually explicit conduct. This includes digital content and applies to all students, including educators. Now, tell me that the stuff that Christy brought forth, tell me that that does not, that does not apply to that. It does.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Right now, we got corruption of minors. I'm sorry.
In that policy meeting, boy, yeah, that wasn't even brought up.
Yep. Now, corruption of minors.
We're just gonna have to start covering the
18
policy meetings, aren't we?
PACS 6301. 18 PACS 6301. That's a statute. This statute makes it a crime for any adult to corrupt the morals of a minor, which can include exposing them to pornography or sexually explicit content. That was sexually explicit content and pornography.
And you've already, and now you've implicated the superintendent and the librarian in crimes. So there you go.
Definitely. And the assistant superintendent.
So
and Abigail
and the principal and assistant principal of all of these schools.
Correct. Obscene and other sexual material and performances. Statute is 18 PACS 5903. This law forbids the dissemination of obscene material to minors, including books, magazines, video, or digital content. It specifically applies to schools and libraries as well. Act 125 of 2024. A recent law that strengthened protection by criminalizing the creation and distribution of AI-generated sexually explicit deepfakes of minors. It treats such offenses with the same severity as traditional child pornography crimes. So this administration, okay, these two here, Mr. Shakespeare, okay, that's Matthew Gay, Mr. Shakespeare, and the taco-eating dragon, Todd Stokes, they have violated all this and need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable by we the people for exposing our children to this. And then this knucklehead here, this egghead right here, has the audacity to say to the York Dispatch, "Oh, I hope they're not trying to get rid of Shakespeare." Did any of that seem like Shakespeare to you?
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's ridiculous
like I
to
stated
compare
before,
this.
these two for the last 5 years have been denying the existence of it.
Yeah, ridiculous that they are comparing this stuff that you guys are finding in there to Shakespeare. Just there is no way to accurately compare what you're finding in the library to Shakespeare. There is no way. No sane person can make that connection. There is no one. And furthermore, I'd like to say about Matthew Gay, he's the assistant superintendent, right? On more than one occasion, he has been rude to Kelly Brent and Heidi Thomas, the president and vice president of the school board. On more than one occasion, he has been very rude to them, and I don't like the way he speaks to. I don't like the way he speaks to any of the women on the school board, to be quite honest. But definitely the president and the vice president, especially, he's very rude. He's very dismissive. And Matthew Gay, of course, please hit me up. You're free to come on and defend yourself on the Boiling Point podcast. Be prepared to stand up to the cross. Right. When I say that, before we get any freaks out there who are thinking that I meant the cross, like the actual cross that Jesus died on, I mean the cross examination. All right. Just so, because as soon as I finished that statement, I was like, someone just is already writing things in the comments about that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to just cover yourself. But, that's high crimes and several felonies and misdemeanors against children in their own law. Constitutionally, we're in the T word with all that, so this should not be allowed to continue. The people have to come together, and that is, we can lawfully do this peacefully.
In this episode, in the last 30 minutes, we have given you, the viewers, evidence on both the superintendent and the assistant superintendent committing crimes, and at least one member of the school board committing a crime. And that's in the last 30 minutes. So like, we've given you the evidence. There's nothing else. I don't live in the school district. There's nothing else that I can do but report it. It's the parents have to get involved. The people who live in the community have to get involved. You have to start writing to your state representatives and state legislatures and let them know that something is happening in your school district and something's got to be done about it now, before
of our representatives and our senators. They can do investigations in both places and get to the bottom of things. There just seem to be like not doing much law at all.
Yeah. And I don't understand. And if you're a parent and you're watching this,
legislature in the nation, only behind California and New York, just an FYI, people. So they're not doing much.
listen, we live in a digital world. Okay. If you don't think your state representative is on social media, is on Twitter, is on Facebook, is on Instagram, guess again. They are. It's not that hard. You can message them. You can link them. You can tag them in our episodes. Tell them what's going on and point to us, because we're the ones that are giving you the information. We're here to keep doing that. But if you, the parents, the people of the community, don't get involved, then it's only going to go so far. So, and, point to, tag your representatives, tag people, use social media to your advantage. Use social media as the tool it was intended for, and not the garbage dumpster fire that it's turned into. Sorry, Mariana, I took your York Dispatch analogy for that.
You can use it.
Thank you.
It's not copyrighted.
All right, good. I just didn't know if you had that exclusively for the York Dispatch or not, because, of course they are dumpster fire, just like Penn Live and all the local media has let the West Shore School District down big time. Yeah, they have let him down. So you, the people, got to get involved here. We're here to provide you with the media side of it. That's what we're doing, but you got to get involved. So share it out. Tag people, tag your representatives, use social media for the tool it was intended for, and, make something happen. You see this happen all the time. The left knows how to use the social media. The left knows how to organize. They know how to communicate. We lack that problem. We have a problem with that sometimes. So it's time to clear that up and get on top of things. So use social media the way it was intended.
Yeah.
Tag people, share it out, leave a comment, hit that reaction button. That's how you're going to get more people to see it.
All right.
Anybody else have anything to say before I close this out?
No, sir. Thank you for having me.
I said enough.
Yes, thank you for joining us late, Denise, and Mariana. Thank you for joining me at the beginning and then staying through to the end. This one has not been as long. We're only coming up on 2 hours. That's not even close. We're barely at 50% for our longest episode when we do these school board meetings. So thank you for staying with us. Please share it out. Leave a comment. Tag people. Use social media is what it's for. And then if you want to help us further than that, the Boiling Point podcast is what I'm talking about here. Check out our storefront, bonfire.com/store/the Boiling Point podcast, and pick yourself up some apparel. Share it out. Share that out also. Help us reach more people. And if you own a business or a small business and you'd like to be in business with us, the Boiling Point podcast is officially looking for sponsorships. So if you're interested in any of that, please, you can send me an email at jdboilingpoint@gmail.com, or you can comment or reach out to us on any of our social media outlets, and I will make sure I get the message and reach back out. Until next time, for Denise and Mariana, host of the Watchdog Report. Speaking of which, go check out Mariana's content, because she's released a bunch of it over the last 10 or 12 days, and you need to catch up on all of that as well. So to know what's going on. So make sure you go check out all of her episodes, the Watchdog Report, Simply Speaking, and then just some regular Boiling Point podcast episodes. So make sure you check that out as well. Until next time, Denise and Mariana, I am your host, JD. That's the end.